Hello again and welcome back. And how are you? All good, I hope. Guess what? We are on the practice phase. Yes, this is it. This is the final run up to the exam. So we are going to get you through the exam. Okay, now let's start with one of the big problems of SBL. And one of the problems is how much to write, because a lot of the questions are going to be open-ended. What are the advantages of? What are the issues involved in doing X, Y, and Z? Compared to most of the other ACCA papers where it's very kind of mathematical, SBL is difficult because you need to write the right amount. Let me tell you what normally happens. So there's going to be a case study. And let's say that case study is split into 1, 2, 3 tasks. And let's, for ease, say it's, 35, 35 and 30. So I'm doing a fairly even split. Now what could happen? Task 1, you are so happy because you love that. All your favorite items come up. You love that. Number 2, well, you're not so sure on that, but you know a few things. And task number 3 is an absolute nightmare. You've got no idea what you're doing. So what you will do, and what you should not do, what a lot of students do, is say, right, I'm going to write all that I possibly know on task 1. I'm going to write and write and write. Now the challenge is the maximum you can get is 35. So even if you write enough for 50 marks, the maximum you are going to get is 35. And if you don't attempt all of the questions, you are going to fail the exams. It is simple as that. You have to make sure you attempt every single task, every single question that's there. Even if you're not confident, you need to dig out that reply. Now, I'll be coming on to how we dig out those replies during this part of the course. But what I'm going to start with now is the timing. Okay, and this is vital. This is absolutely critical. Now we know in the exam is 3 hours and 15 minutes. Okay, or to put it in other words, that's 195 minutes. 195 minutes of your life will be spent answering the questions in SBL. And as a reminder, there are 80 technical marks and 20 professional marks. Now, I'll come on to professional marks later, but really at this stage, don't worry about them, because if you follow the approach I'm going to recommend, you will automatically get the professional marks. So I'm going to focus now on these 80 technical marks, and the timing is critical because we are going to spend, let me put the red pen because it's so important, we're going to have 0.5 minutes for each technical mark. So there'll be 0.5 times 80, 40 minutes of the exam will be spent planning. The 0.5 is planning, so this is planning your answers. And then actually sort of writing or typing. So typing your answers will be 2 minutes per technical mark. That comes to 160. Now I know you're all nearly qualified accountants, but you're advanced at the ACCA stage. So you have probably noticed that actually that's 200 minutes and we've only got 195. Now don't worry, because I want to make it as easy for you as possible to remember. 0.5 minutes per technical mark for planning and 2 minutes per technical mark for writing the answer. Okay, so we've got 5 minutes at the end, but don't worry about that. What I'm going to switch to now is the ACCA specimen exam, which is one of the specimen exams for SBL. Now we're going to be going through this in the next video, in a future video, but for now I just want to highlight certain things. So we have exhibits, and again, don't worry, I'm going to go through this in detail in the next video, pre-seen, response options. But here we have a task. So it's task 1 is 30 marks. If I go click on the next in the bottom right of the screen, we have task 2 is 32 marks, and then task 3 is 38. 38 plus 32 plus 30 comes to 100. Now, just so we can get the timings right, I'm going to click on task 1 here. This opens up. I'm not going to read this now because I'm going to read this later on. But we know prepare a report to the board which advises on blah, blah, blah. And we have 26 marks. And professional skills are 4 marks. So what we know, 26 marks for task 1 are technical marks. So that means for task 1, so for task 1 in that exam, we've got planning 0.5 times 24 is 12 minutes. We'll be planning the answer. And then writing or typing the answer, 2 minutes times 24 is 48 minutes. So 48 plus 12, 60 minutes. 1 hour of your life will be spent answering task 1. No more, no less, because we have to leave the timings for the task 2 and task 3. Now, I'm going to be coming back to this all the time. Every question we're going to be doing on the practice phase, I'm going to be setting you up with planning time, with delivery time, with typing time. But for now, just remember, 0.5 minutes per technical mark for planning, 2 minutes per technical mark for typing. Okay, the next thing which is important in the setup to the practice phase is, do you remember school? When you were at school, did you have to write essays? My guess is you probably did have to write essays. And were those essays kind of long, rambling? You had an idea, you thought of something, you maybe thought of something else, and then it went on a bit and your essays were typing. Well, sorry, writing. My guess is you didn't type at school, but you may have done. But either way, you were writing. Now, if you look at the exam equivalent, what would you feel if you were the marker and you saw an answer script like this? First of all, ignore the fact it's Latin text. That's not going to score you a lot of marks, but I just wanted to think about visual. So as a marker, you've got to put yourself in the shoes of a marker. He or she has got possibly hundreds of exams to mark. You want to make it as easy as possible for them to give you marks. So if the marker suddenly is faced with something like this, when they go through it, they've got a lot to read, haven't they? So, how are they going to be? Well, there's text there, maybe that bit. It's an essay, and we do not want an essay because that is it's a lot of text there. It's not that easy to see through what are the relevant bits. We want to make it as easy as possible. So if we look at something like this, do you notice a difference? Well, we have a heading. We have, number 1. So this must be the first point of the student. And we have 2, 3, 4 lines, 2 or 3 sentences. And then there's a gap. And then it's number 2. So that means, we finished point number 1. Maybe I should give a mark. And then point number 2, it's easy to read. There's another gap. We are getting the marker into the habit of giving us marks and ticking. So another heading, we have gaps here. Point 1, there's 2 or 3 sentences. Number 2. So in other words, this is looking more like a report. So your answer should not look like an essay. Your answer should look like a report. And each of these items here should be what I call extended bullet points. Let me explain that in more detail. So let's suppose that the question is asking, should the company expand into a new country? Should they expand operations into a new country? And I decide I'm going to come up with a number of advantages. And my first advantage, I put, number 1, I'll put more revenue. Okay, well, that's a bullet point, isn't it? Let's do an alternative. Instead, I could put it's more revenue, and I can then go on to explain the different types of revenue. I could explain the different types of customers. I could talk a little bit about X, a little bit about Y, a little bit, and I can keep going and keep going and keep going, sorry, and go on and on and on and on. Now, we've got two extremes there. This one is a bullet point. It's not an extended bullet point. Okay, this one here is more than an extended bullet point. It goes on too far. So what we want is this concept of extended bullet point. It's a bullet point, but it does maybe 3 or 4 lines with 2 or 3 sentences. And after I've done those 2 or 3 sentences, I'll leave a gap and put number 2 and then do my next extended bullet point. What is really important is we need to make sure we answer the so what question, because what the examiner has said in a lot of the previous exams, we have all the reports from the examiners, and what the examiner has said is students have wasted time by copying and pasting certain information from the question into the answer, but they've not made any comment about it. So what we need to do is we need to answer the so what question. What does that mean for the company? And I'm going to be doing this as we go along. So you'll be seeing this and hearing this all the time. So what? What does that mean? Don't just make a sort of a copy and paste a statement which doesn't really say anything. We want to say this means that. This could result in. So all of these things. Now, you will remember the timing. So the timing, I've said we know it's 0.5 minutes for planning and 2 minutes for typing. Okay, how many extended bullet points do we need? Okay, now a good rule of thumb, so a good benchmark is you should be aiming for let me just write it properly. So 1.5. So 1.5 marks per extended bullet point. Okay, so it's going to vary. Obviously read the requirements. If the requirement said, right, there's 5 marks and list 5 points, it's going to be 1 mark per point. But as a rule of thumb, you should be getting anywhere between 1 to 2. So let's go for 1.5 marks per extended bullet point. So, for example, if a task is 9 marks, if there's 9 marks to a task, how long do you have to plan that? Well, 0.5 times 9, 4.5 minutes. How long do you have to type that answer? 9 marks times 2 minutes, 18 minutes. How many extended bullet points do you need? Well, assuming 1.5 marks per extended bullet points, you want 6 extended bullet points. Okay, and all of this is going to be absolutely vital when it comes to planning, because during this planning phase we know that actually we need to get 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so remember 0.5 minutes per technical mark for planning, 2 minutes per technical mark for typing, and 1.5 marks per extended bullet point. Now I've just popped back to the specimen exam. I'm on task 2 at the moment, so let me click on that. We know it's 32 marks in total. Can move this here. So we have here task 2, 32 marks. We have part A, which is 14 technical marks, 4 professional marks, and part B, which is 10 technical marks and 4 professional marks. So when it comes to the plan, we know 14 and 10. So task number 2, we have parts A and parts B. 14 marks and 10 marks. So planning, how much time to plan 14 marks? 7 minutes, 5 minutes, because it's 0.5 times the technical marks. And typing your answer, well, 28 minutes and 20 minutes. How many extended bullet points do we need for 14? Well, let's say if we get 10 times 1.5 is 15, so we're on the safe side. And let's say we go 7 times 1.5 is 10.5, so again, let's aim for 7. So that means when we come to planning that answer, we've got 7 minutes to identify 10 extended bullet points that we're going to be typing. And then during that 28 minutes, we have to type those extended bullet points and make sure we answer the so what question as we're typing it. Okay, now that's just a quick sort of setup of some of the important things when it comes to answering your the questions. What we're going to do now, we're going to start to look at some real life exam questions. Now, we've got some test your understandings to do. Because this is a practice phase, the test your understandings are drawn from any part of the syllabus. So please attempt the test your understandings and then come back for video number 2. I'll see you soon. All the best. Bye-bye.